Hello and welcome to another update. In this one I'll be covering the latest updates in the Bakhmut front as the Ukrainians have launched their long-awaited counteroffensive around Bakhmut. So Prigozhin has been saying for weeks now that the Ukrainians were planning a counterattack by Bakhmut, and that is why it needed an extra amount of ammunition as well as reinforcements from the Russian forces. However, he claims that he has not received all of the promised ammunition, as well as a lack of reinforcements, even to the point that he claims that the Russian forces defending the flanks have completely left the area, meaning that the Wagner forces are now alone across the whole front line from Bakhmut and all the way up above Zaporizhia, all the way to Siversk front, which means that they are now spread around this whole area, despite all of their casualties. So the Ukrainians made use of that weakness and are now attacking on the whole front line from Bogdanivka and all the way down to Klishchiivka. So here to the west of Klishchiivka, the Ukrainian forces are attempting to gain a proper foothold here to the west of the village as they try to get a foothold and push Russian forces back. And at the same time, they're launching attacks here from the north. With their flank under threat, the Russian forces had to pull back to protect their flank and prevent a Ukrainian foothold, which the Ukrainians took advantage of, and they are now pushing from the northern side, which means that the Wagner forces is under heavy pressure from the western and southern flank of the Bakhmut area. At the same time, on the northern side, after the Russian forces managed to cut off the supply through the 00506 road, the Ukrainian forces then launched a counterattack here as well, as they managed to recapture this part here, which is the only settlement in this area. And at the same time, they're fighting and trying to recapture all of the trenches. If we look at the positions map mode, we see the trenches here, and the Ukrainian forces have managed to reach the center of the trench area as they are now fighting by the trenches. So the Ukrainian forces are here attempting to fully recapture the trenches, and at the same time they're attempting to cut off the southern flank of Bakhmut, allowing them to launch some sort of offensive here in the south, which is filled with open fields. However, the Russian position next to Klishchiivka, which is the high ground in this area, allows the Russian forces to have a defensive position. So the Wagner forces here are attempting to hold back and push back the Ukrainian forces launching their counteroffensive in this area as they try to hold the canal position, which is their better defensive position here in the southern front, and at the same time they want to send reinforcements to this northern area to prevent a Ukrainian breakthrough. So the situation is very tense right now for both sides as the Ukrainian forces continue attempts at counterattacking and improving their positions for a possible larger incursion with proper forces. And at the same time, the Wagner forces are spread thinly, so they need further reinforcements and they definitely need more ammunition if they want to hold back the Ukrainian forces counterattacking and hold the whole front line. To drive exactly the front line the Wagner forces are holding, it is this whole area down to Koryomivka. So this is the area that they are holding. So the current situation is very difficult for the Wagner forces, but at the same time, knowing Prigozhin, he has been very busy doing all of these psyops. So at the same time, we may see that there is a bigger plan in this, that the Russian forces may be gathering behind the lines to launch their own offensive, and they're baiting the Ukrainian forces to dry up their forces before that, or they want to run a finish touch here in Bakhmut, where they want to capture the rest of the citadel area. With the recent breakthrough here in the southwest of the city, they have cut off the supplies here to the southwest, and there is the heavy fighting in the northwest. They are closing in on cutting off the supplies here as well. So this situation is very tense and it could go either way right now, as the Ukrainian forces have a lot of forces here in reserve and the Russian forces seems to be pulling out of the Bakhmut area. So it is very difficult to see exactly what's going on here. The fog of war is very thick and there's hardly any information coming out that I can trust fully, as the sources have an interest in hiding what their tactical operations are. But one thing is for sure, Prigozhin has spent some time shouting, "My flank is weak, my flank is weak." And now we're seeing that the Ukrainians are attacking the flanks, which seems to be a trap. But only time will tell. Thank you all for watching this video. It's been Weeb Union. Hope you all have a great day.